Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I'm going to take you guys to multiple locations on Google Earth. Two in particular. We're going to start off over here off the coast of the California Baja. There appears to be what looks like a large underwater network of tunnels over here. I've seen this place before. It's been a while, but I didn't look at it super close until just a few days ago. And once I got to looking at this much closer, it was pretty obvious that these weren't random acts of nature. I thought, well, maybe they were lava tubes or something like that. But I've got an example of volcanoes that have been erupting underwater, and they don't leave behind a network of tubes like this. This is unbelievable. Again, this is off the coast of the California Baja. Some of the measurements of these things extend 48 miles. For instance, I'll show you guys one that I measured from right here down to the southern tip. Here you go. From here to here is 48 miles long. And at the end of this tunnel network, you can see some sort of a facility, what looks like a structure. At least you can see 90-degree angles down here. It's difficult to make out a building, but you can see the tunnel goes to that location right there that, again, doesn't necessarily look natural. Coming back up here to the top, this segment up here was 13 miles long itself. You can see vertical tunnels, you can see horizontal tunnels, and they all lead to somewhere. Where do they go? What were they built for? And who uses them? Are these an ancient network of tunnels, or are these something more modern? Here you go. This is the one that's 13 miles long. This one right here comes up to a large elbow right here that goes into an underground, what looks like possibly an underground facility. You can see right here what looks like what could possibly be the entrance to another underground facility. There's multiple tubes over here that, again, span for dozens of miles. In fact, if you add up the two that I measured, 48 and 13, that's 61 miles worth of tunnels over here just off the coast of the California Baja. Very interesting stuff indeed. I've heard over the years that there's tunnels across North America underneath dry land that extend hundreds of miles. So when I first saw these, I wasn't super surprised because I've heard of underground tunnels all around the world. I just found these very curious, and again, they don't look natural. They look definitely man-made, but when were they made and who was using them, or are they still being used today? This area right here was kind of interesting in itself too. It doesn't necessarily look natural. Also have another location to share with you guys. This location was sent in by our friend Nelson Jenks. He noticed this up here off the coast of British Columbia. Check this out. This doesn't look natural either. He ran across this little surface feature right here that's not necessarily little. In fact, when I measured this, it measured right around 32 miles long. But check this out. The reason he was drawn to this area is because this didn't look like just any ordinary underwater feature. When you go in close, like Nelson did, it almost looks like the remains of a very large reptile. So what I did, I took a screen grab of this image, made some modifications to the image, and you can see the location right there if you want to come check it out yourself. And when I adjusted the lighting and color a little bit, pulled forward some of the other features, you can kind of see what looks like maybe a spine, a skeleton. There's the head of what could have been a large reptile at one time. They say truth is stranger than fiction. It gets wilder and wilder by the day. I also have something to share with you guys up on the surface of Mars. This was just sent in by a viewer a couple of days ago. Check this out. This was spotted by one of the Mars rovers. They came across this thing here that looked totally out of place. With regard to the color of the surface of Mars, it didn't match anything on the surface anywhere in the area. This was almost a dark gray, a light black, and they were describing this as a helmet. It definitely looks out of place, whatever it may be. I did do some modifications to this as well. I adjusted the lighting and color, looking for more features, and it definitely looks unusual. Almost looks like a clump of asphalt, but it's in a unique shape. They were describing it, once again, as a helmet. I don't know if I would consider it a helmet. I don't know what I would call that thing. Some sort of a shell maybe to a creature of some sort. I don't know, but it definitely looks out of place. We don't go up to Mars a whole lot, but there is a lot to see. These rovers are always sending back interesting pictures, and this is one of those interesting pictures of something unusual discovered here recently on the surface of Mars. There's no telling what's up there on the surface of Mars. Kind of like here on Earth, it's no telling what's in the bottom of these oceans. Here's a mysterious location I found on Google Earth. There's just a little circle right here. I don't know if that's the top of what's left of an underwater volcano. And back to the underwater tunnel network, I wanted to show you guys a few volcanoes also over here off the west coast of North America. Here's a string of what looks like 4, maybe 5 volcanoes. This first one up here at the top, you can tell at one point in history, it did erupt, and it left behind just a big pile of lava, not any straight 48-mile long tubes. There's what an underwater volcano eruption looks like. So nothing like an underwater network like we see right here. Is there somebody right now down there using these tunnels for whatever reasons? So it definitely makes you wonder. These things got more and more curious the more I looked at them, because they definitely don't look like the side effect of volcanic eruptions. They definitely look like they are of intelligent origin. Very cool stuff. Once again, off the coast of the California Baja. I put the link in the description box if you guys wanted to come over here and check it out for yourself. Right there they are. Underwater tunnel network. These things are probably all over the world. I had somebody ask me the other day about the famous pigeon out of Spring Hill, Florida, and I wanted to give you guys a quick update on the pigeon for those of you that maybe didn't see the famous pigeon that landed on this young lady's car as she was sitting at an intersection. Jenny out of Spring Hill, Florida was sitting at a red light when all of a sudden this pigeon landed on the hood of her car. She didn't know what to do because she was in the middle of a busy intersection. So the pigeon stayed on the hood of her car the entire way home. And the pigeon was fine. I had people ask if the pigeon made it okay. Yes, the pigeon was fine. And come to find out, the pigeon was part of a racing club. Apparently in Spring Hill, Florida, there's a pigeon racing club. And this pigeon, somehow or another, got out and landed on Jenny's car, went for a little joyride, and he was eventually returned to the racing club there in Spring Hill, Florida. He seemed to be having a good time. There were some people wondering if he was okay. Yes, he was definitely okay, and he seemed to be having a good time. Really cool video out of Spring Hill, Florida. Guys, if you have any photos or videos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports@mrmbb333.com. If you have any videos you'd like to share that are too large to attach to the email, come over here to the homepage of the website. Look for this red tab right here that says Have a Large Video. It's a Dropbox. Drag and drop your videos into the Dropbox. Please include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.